And honestly, that is not a true friend. If they're going to judge you for saying no to a drink or they're going to judge you for wanting to stay in and stay on track with your goals, respectfully, you need to drop that friend because they don't actually care about you. Welcome back to the Hot and Healthy Show, the podcast where we cut the excuses, tell the truth, and build the discipline it actually takes to become the hottest and healthiest version of yourself. I'm your host, Maddie Bunker. Let's get into the episode. Y'all are in for a treat today because I'm going to be spilling the secrets of my 7 mindset shifts that have completely changed my life. Y'all know we're all about being the hottest and healthiest version of ourselves, and that didn't come from just working out, eating healthier, and eating more protein. It came from the mindset shifts that I've been able to build and help thousands of our clients transform their lives, and I'm going to share them with you today. And before we start, just want to remind y'all these are not affirmations, these are principles to live by. Let's get into it. Mindset shift number 1 is to follow the plan, not your emotions. Y'all are waking up every single day without a plan and just hoping that you're going to have motivation, hoping that you're going to make it to the gym that day, hoping that you're going to magically eat healthy, and that's not going to work long term. Motivation is always going to come and go. You have to rely on self-discipline. I make a plan for myself and I will not deviate from that plan no matter what. There are so many days that the last thing that I want to do is go to the gym. The last thing that I want to do is make a freaking protein shake or eat healthy. I want to go out with my friends. I want to do whatever. But you know what's number 1 to me? Being hot and healthy. I want to look good and I want to feel good. And so I don't care about my emotions that day. There are going to be a lot of days where you don't want to do the hard thing. But once you realize that you're able to not worry about your emotions and go into the day with the plan and do it no matter what, it's like a date. It's like you have something on your calendar with your boss, schedule it in. And once you do that and realize it's like brushing your teeth, you have to do it anyways. Do you think that I'm motivated to brush my teeth every single day? Absolutely not, but I do it because that's disgusting if I don't. Same thing with the gym. It's kind of disgusting if you don't work out every single day. So make it a priority and do it no matter what. I don't care if you're sad. I don't care if you're tired. It's going to happen. But if you can stick to the plan and not deviate no matter what, you're going to become hot and healthy. Number 2 is move with purpose, but be unattached to the outcome. So many women are focused on the number on the scale or hitting a certain goal by a certain amount of time. And it's so important to set those goals, but you have to focus on the inputs rather than the outcome. I was chasing a certain number on the scale for so long, X amount of money in my business, and I was never happy. I would hit those numbers and it would never be enough because I was focused on the outcome rather than the work that I was putting in. You can't always control the outcome. Sometimes weight loss is going to be slower than we want it to. Sometimes things are going to happen that slow us down, hormones, or if it's in your business, things are going to come up that you cannot control. But if you're focused on the work that you're putting in and realizing that your success comes from how hard that you work, and your success is going to be directly correlated with the input that you have every single day. And so, like we talked about in number 1, if you show up no matter what your feelings are every single day, you should be proud of that. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be the person that you want to be if you're showing up every single day and focusing on the inputs rather than the outcome. Because when you're focusing on the outcome, you're going to be discouraged and you're going to quit. If you don't hit that number by this date, you're probably going to quit and not keep going. But if you're focused on the plan and executing the plan every single day, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be the person that you want to become. If this episode is calling you out and you want actual support instead of doing it alone, DM me ready on Instagram. Number 3, rejection equals redirection. As cheesy as that sounds, everything truly does happen for a reason. And once you realize that, instead of thinking, oh, why me or boo-hoo me, what is the lesson that you can take from this scenario? Last year, I had the goal of competing in a bodybuilding competition, and I had been literally training for it for 3 years and wanting to do it so badly. And I was in prep, I was working hard, I was doing all the things that I could. And then my body wasn't responding. I was very frustrated, and I found out that I had hypothyroidism, and it was truly the hardest year of my life. Last year, I went through so many different health issues, so many ups and downs. I was uncomfortable in my body. I wasn't seeing the changes that I want to, despite the inputs that I was putting in. And it was really, really hard. And I kept thinking, why me? Why is this happening to me? I've been working so hard. I've been doing all the things that I need to do, and it's not working for me. And then one day I realized I'm learning all of those things so that I can teach y'all those things. And I went through that for a reason. I learned so much last year about myself, about human body and hormones, so that I can help other women feel the best version of themselves. And if I didn't go through that, it'd be really, really hard for me to teach that for y'all. So, as hard as it was, I'm very grateful for that experience. And I'm sure everyone can relate to that. Every single thing that you've gone through, you've learned something from it, there's been a reason for it, or there's been a better outcome. There's been times where you've probably dated someone and you thought they were your person, and then you broke up with them and you found the next person and they were your husband, and you're very grateful that the last person didn't become your husband, right? Rejection equals redirection. Stop thinking of yourself as a victim. Take that circumstance and think about what you can learn from it and how you can make your life better moving forward. You're going to want to lock in for the next 4. Number 4, take me or leave me the way that I am. This is so important, especially if you want to be confident and you want to come across like you actually hot and healthy. You have to prove to yourself first and then to others that you don't care what they think. So many women are relying on external validation. They're people pleasing. They're staying small because they're worried what other people think. And once you can build that inner confidence that we talk about on this show and know that you're keeping promises to yourself every single day and you're working hard doing the things that you know you need to do to be the best version of yourself, you're going to stop apologizing. You're going to start doing and living your life the way that you want to and not how you think others want you to live your life. The most freeing feeling in the world is being confident in your actions, no matter what other people say. I was not always like this, trust me, but when you can show up as you and not care what other people think, not care about judgment from others, it's so freeing and people are going to respect you a lot more. Number 5, consistency will always beat intensity. I hear it so many times a day. So many women start their fitness journey and they're all gung-ho. They're so excited. They go into it. I'm going to go to the gym 6 days a week. I'm going to eat super healthy, no sugar, cut out carbs, all the things. And they're so consistent for 2 weeks and then they burn out and it's 0 to 100, back to 0. I would way rather you go 50% consistently than 100% and then back to 0, starting that cycle all over again. I see it so many times where women have to start over and they think that they're taking the shortcut by doing all the things and cutting their calories super low, going to the gym every single day, doing hours of cardio, but it ends up taking them longer in the long run because they're having to start over so many times. And so if you start small, start with one habit, one goal. Once you get consistent with that every single day, then move on to the next. And I know it's so frustrating and it feels like you're starting so small and you're never going to get to your goal. But if you can stay consistent with those things and make small changes, one day you're going to wake up and you've reached your goals because you're actually staying consistent through the long run. Going intense feels productive. It feels right. It feels like you're going to do the right thing, but consistency will always win. Quick note. If you want help actually applying this, my team of one-on-one coaches is ready to help. We will come up with a custom plan that guarantees your success. Literally money back guarantee. DM me coaching on Instagram at Maddie_bunker to learn more. Number 6, environment beats willpower every single time. Set up your environment for success. Not only just the place that you live, where you go every day, but the people you surround yourself with. You probably have heard the quote a million times, but you are the 4 people that you surround yourself with the most. And I promise you that will absolutely change your life. When I was back in college and I was around people who were drinking all the time, I was around people who were always eating like crap and partying and not into health and fitness, it was really hard for me to stay consistent and I was staying overweight. I wasn't seeing the changes that I wanted to. I also wasn't growing in my business. And then when I moved to Austin, Texas, and I surrounded myself with like-minded people who go to the gym consistently, who push themselves not only in health and fitness, but also in business and in their faith, I grew so much just by association, just because I surrounded myself with people who are constantly striving to be better. Whether you notice it or not, people are going to drag you down. If they make subtle comments or if they're judging you for wanting to be healthier. I talk to my clients all the time and they're so
scared to not drink alcohol with their friends or to not go out or to say that they're going to go to the gym. And honestly, that is not a true friend. If they're going to judge you for saying no to a drink or they're going to judge you for wanting to stay in and stay on track with your goals, respectfully, you need to drop that friend because they don't actually care about you. People do not want to see other people do better than them. And so if you're not surrounding yourself with someone who's elevating and always striving to be better and pushing you to be better, they are 100% dragging you down. I was in a relationship that I didn't realize was dragging me down, but he was upset when I was working all the time. He was upset if I went to the gym when he wanted to hang out. He was upset if I didn't want to go out to eat. And I didn't realize it because I worked hard. I did. I went to the gym pretty consistently. I ate pretty healthy. I was pretty consistent in my business, but it wasn't growing the way that I wanted to. And then, like I said, when I moved to Austin and surrounded myself with those people, my business grew exponentially. I was able to get in the best shape of my life just because of the people that I surrounded myself with. So please take a look at the people that you spend the most time with because that will dictate the person that you become. Quick little bonus tip, please drink your water. Number 7, and probably the most important lesson that I want y'all to learn from this podcast in general, you earn your confidence. My absolute favorite quote is from Alex Hormozy, and it says, "You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt." Now, y'all hear me all the time talk about how I don't believe in affirmations. I don't believe in manifestation. I believe in putting in the work. You are not going to just magically wake up and be confident. You're not magically going to wake up and have the life that you want to unless you're actually putting in the work. And so to dissect that quote by Alex Hormozy, saying affirmations, that's great. Like, it's not going to hurt you, but it's also not going to get you to where you want to be by magic. You can't just manifest the life that you want. You can't just manifest being confident. Confidence comes from self-discipline and making promises to yourself and keeping those promises. If you tell yourself you're going to wake up at 6 a.m. and you never do that, why would you trust yourself ever? If you tell yourself you're going to go to the gym and then you constantly miss the gym, every single time you do that, you break a promise to yourself and it becomes that much easier to lie to yourself. And then you don't trust yourself. If you were dating someone and they told you, hey, let's go grab coffee at 7 a.m. and you show up and he's not there. And he's like, oh, so sorry, I'll be there tomorrow. And he's not there constantly. You're going to break up with that dude eventually, hopefully after the first or second date. But you're doing that to yourself every single day. You're telling yourself you're going to do something and you don't do it. If you want to be confident, if you want to be hot and healthy, you're going to have to wake up every single day, follow the plan, execute the plan, and never, ever, ever, whatever you do, never break a promise to yourself because that is the number one way to never become hot and healthy and to never become confident. Well, that's all I have for y'all in this episode. To recap what we talked about, the 7 mindsets of a hot and healthy woman. 1, follow the plan, not your emotions. 2, move with purpose, but be unattached to the outcomes. 3, rejection equals redirection. Number 4, take me or leave me the way that I am. Number 5, consistency beats intensity. Number 6, environment beats willpower. And number 7, you earn your confidence. Make sure to follow the show if you found this helpful and let me know on Instagram what your favorite tip was and which one you're going to be applying. And if you feel like there's a friend that would benefit from being hotter and healthier in the 7 mindsets that we talked about, make sure to share it with them. And remember, confidence will not come knocking at your door. Go out and build it. See y'all next time.